everyone, and welcome to the Concession Stand here on the KB Radio Network. I am your host, Kevin Reed, and this is the review of Illumination's Minions and Monsters, the third installment of the Minions prequel series and seventh, yes, you heard me correct, seventh installment of the overall Despicable Me franchise. And it's directed by Pierre Coffin, who voices all the Minions. But he isn't the only one voicing here, if you want to call voicing those characters voicing. But along with him, you have Trey Parker, Allison Janney, Christoph Waltz, Jesse Eisenberg, Jeff Bridges, Zoey Deutch, Bobby Moynihan, and Phil LaMarr. This sequel or prequel of the franchise takes place in 1927, 41 years before the events of Minions, which came out in 2015. And the film follows the Minions as they aim to make a monster movie of their own in old Hollywood. Let me just start off by saying I haven't watched a Minion or Despicable Me film since the second Despicable Me. That was the last time I partaked in this franchise. Mainly because it's not for quality reasons. I didn't think the movies were bad or anything. I just grew out of it. If that makes any, well, I didn't grow out of it. My kids grew out of it. My kids will watch it, and once they got of age and they didn't beg me to take them to go see Despicable Me anymore, I didn't beg them to go see Despicable Me. We just collectively stopped watching them. It wasn't, like I said, because of quality. I enjoyed the first two Despicable Me's. It just was what it was. Illumination, I will rave about their animation for probably until I'm in the grave. Beautiful animation and all that good stuff. But really disconnected from this franchise. I went to see this because I wanted to go out. I wanted to go to the movies. I've seen pretty much everything that I wanted to see. And I said, you know what? It's a 3-day weekend. I feel like going ahead and watching Despicable Me. What's the worst that can happen, right? Well, nothing bad. I enjoyed this. Is it wrong? Is it wrong for a 47-year-old man to sit in the theater and have the time of his life watching this movie? I loved this movie. This was so funny. It was funny, and it hit all the notes that you want an animated film to hit. You want a animated film that clearly is shooting for a certain demographic, being young children and whatnot. You want it to hit those beats that the children can enjoy, but you also want something in there that the parents who are bringing these children to these movies can relate to and enjoy as well. And Minions and Monsters does it well. I would argue that this film is really for the older demographic. It is not lewd or vulgar or anything like that. It doesn't have any adult subject matters or anything of that nature. It's just the jokes that were in this movie. Either I'm just too immature, which is very possible. Either that's the case, or the writers really shot for in a more adult audience as well. But now there are kid jokes in there, of course you got the fart jokes and all that good stuff. The Minions are they just run around and kids were laughing, just the mere sight of them brought joy to children's hearts. So everybody enjoyed it. Everybody can walk away happy from this film. But the reason I feel that more adults would probably enjoy this more, especially if you're a cinephile, especially if you're into old movies. This movie pays homage to old Hollywood. It really taps in on the old westerns and black and white films from that era. This really touched in on so much old Hollywood history, and I'm sitting there like, man, I get that reference. Oh, I get all that. Oh, that's nice. We got so many nods to that era that you can tell that the filmmakers behind this movie really love that era as well, because they really dove in headfirst into displaying everything that was a part of old 1920s, 1930s Hollywood, or the world around that time, and what we were focusing on, and then moving into monster movies, you know, the Universal monster movies around that era. It was beautifully done. I really loved how Minions and Monsters make you appreciate those movies back then, you know. It hopefully, yeah, it appeals to all of us who know about old Hollywood, who watched old black and white films, the old westerns, and the old monster movies and all that good stuff. But maybe the young kids and the young adults or whoever goes to see this film, who clearly are too young to know anything about that era. Heck, I'm too young to know about that era. But maybe they will draw an interest to it and check out some of those old movies, you know, and start to appreciate it themselves. The movie is well put together. I think the voice actors here are dynamite. Really impressed with some of the voice talents in this movie that I didn't know. What, number one, I didn't know they were a part of this film, and number two, I didn't think they were that funny. One in particular is Jesse Eisenberg. Jesse Eisenberg is so good in this movie. It's weird for me to say, like, this is my favorite Jesse Eisenberg. Because he was so funny and so good and perfectly cast as the role of this robot, that I was like, man, this is so perfect. It was just perfect. That's all I could say while watching the movie and hearing him as this character. I was like, man, this is so perfect for him. He is awesome as this character. Jeff Bridges was awesome, and he was doubly awesome because he had double duties. He played two twin brothers, and both of them were different, vastly different, and you could clearly tell he was like the brother, the big brother, you know, the mean, surly brother. But I didn't know he was the twin brother as well. I was thrown off by that until we got to the end with the credits, and I'm like, wait, really? He did them both? They were so different, and he nailed them both. Everybody was great. We got a cameo that I didn't expect from George Lucas here. He did a voice cameo as himself. That brought joy to my heart as well. Wish he would come back to the Star Wars franchise, which is weird to say after he did the prequel series, but that's just my opinion. This is awesome. I'm really back in the fold with the Minions, with the Despicable Me's. I'm back in it. You know, I was gone for many years. I can't tell when did Despicable Me 2 come out? It had to be 20 years ago or so. I don't even remember when that movie came out. I know my youngest daughter was like teeny tiny, and she's a school teacher now, so that goes to show you how long it's been since I went to go see a Despicable Me movie. But I'm back in the fold, man. I might have to go back and catch up with this franchise because I enjoyed Minions and Monsters just that much. Back to the voices. One last point: the Minions. Like I said, I've been detached. So the Minions was never a thing for me. I never understood how they got their own spin-off franchise out of the Despicable Me franchise, because quite frankly, I found them annoying when I used to watch those movies. And You couldn't understand them. What are they talking about? It wasn't like they gave us subtitles. They were just morons. And so I didn't understand how they were getting full-length feature films and being successful. All of them are highly successful. And I watched this movie, and it's still the same Minions. Nothing changed. I still don't know what they're saying, but I know what they're saying. I know what they're doing. I know their motivations. I know everything about them, and I couldn't understand a word coming out of their mouth. I guess I get it now. I was late to the party, people. I'm sorry. I get it. I get the connection with these characters. They are so adorable, yet so fun, so funny, emotional at times. You know, that you feel their emotions throughout. It's just everything comes out through these little characters that don't speak English, don't speak any coherent language that I know of, but you get it, and I got it, and I enjoyed it. Minions and Monsters, which is currently in theaters, gets a letter grade of an A. Yeah, this was great. This was great. The only knock I have about the movie, honestly, it was short. You know, it felt like an episode on television. It felt that short to me, but I'm not going to complain too much because I don't need to see a 3-hour-long Minion movie. But I'm just saying, it just felt short, even though it was about an hour and 20 minutes or something like that. But it felt like 40 minutes or something. It just moved that fast. The story flowed that fast and that good. The pacing was great. But that's my opinion on Minions and Monsters. I would like to know yours. DKBRadioNetwork.com. You can subscribe to the website there and get all episodes, including this one. Also on YouTube as well. Subscribe to the KB Radio Network channel and like this video if you don't mind. Don't forget about the 5 stars, the reviews, and sharing this show if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, wherever you are currently listening to the concession stand here on the KB Radio Network. Everybody, thank you for joining me for this review of Illumination's Minions and Monsters. Want you all to know that I love you, continue to love everyone, and until we speak again, you all be blessed.